All right, let's dive right in. If you're working in AWS, you've probably faced this question, and it can be a real head-scratcher, even for experienced folks. Which load balancer do I actually need to use?
So, you've got these three main choices, right? The application load balancer, the network load balancer, and then let's call it the old school one, the classic load balancer. Now, they all seem to do the same basic job, shuffling traffic around, but trust me, how they do it is completely different. And picking the wrong one, yeah, that can make or break your app's performance. So let's figure out which one is the perfect fit for you.
But before we get into the weeds, let's do a quick level set. What is a load balancer anyway? You can think of it as the ultimate traffic cop for your application. When a ton of user requests start pouring in, instead of just letting one server get totally overwhelmed and crash, the load balancer steps in and says, okay, you go here, you go there. It spreads the load out across all your available servers, making sure everything keeps running nice and smooth.
At the end of the day, the problem they're solving is avoiding a single point of failure. It's all about keeping your application highly available and ready to scale. Because without one, you're basically one traffic spike away from a complete outage. Nobody wants that. So with that in mind, let's meet our contenders.
First up to the plate, we've got the application load balancer, or ALB. I like to call this one the smart router. For most modern web stuff, this is going to be your go-to.
So what's the secret sauce for the ALB? Well, it all comes down to where it works, at what we call Layer 7, the application layer. Now, what does that even mean? Think of it like a super intelligent postal worker. They don't just look at the address on the envelope. They can actually open the envelope and read the letter inside. The ALB understands the content of HTTP and HTTPS requests, meaning it can see things like the URL path or the headers. It's not just moving data, it's understanding it.
And that intelligence is a game changer, because the ALB can read that letter. It can do some really clever stuff, like content-based routing. For example, it can see a request coming in for your website/users page and send it to one set of servers, and then see another request for /orders and send it to a totally different microservice. You see how powerful that is? It's perfect for microservices, for containers, and it even plays nice with security tools like the AWS Web Application Firewall.
So, here's the bottom line for the ALB. If you're building a modern web app and you need smart, flexible routing for your HTTP traffic, this is your guy. It's almost always the right answer.
All right, next up is the Network Load Balancer, or NLB. Now, if the ALB is the smart router, the NLB is the pure, unadulterated speed demon. This thing is built for one thing: raw performance.
The NLB works at a lower level, Layer 4, the transport layer. So back to our postal worker analogy. This one doesn't open the envelope at all. It just looks at the to and from addresses. That's it. It only cares about IP addresses and ports, handling raw TCP and UDP traffic. And by ignoring all the application-level details, it can move packets at just mind-blowing speeds.
And that's exactly where the NLB shines. We're talking extreme performance, millions of requests per second with incredibly low latency. So if you're building something like a real-time multiplayer game, a video streaming service, or anything where every millisecond is critical, the NLB is your best friend. It's also the clear winner for any non-HTTP traffic, or if you happen to need a static IP address for your load balancer.
So the takeaway here is really simple. When you just need to move a massive amount of data as fast as humanly possible, and you don't care about the application logic inside, the network load balancer is the undisputed champion. And finally, we have to talk about the original, the OG, the classic load balancer, or CLB. As you can probably guess from the name, this one's the legacy elder of the group.
The CLB was the very first load balancer AWS ever created. And look, it can handle both Layer 4 and Layer 7 traffic, but it's really a jack of all trades and a master of none. It doesn't have the sophisticated routing of the ALB, and it definitely doesn't have the raw horsepower of the NLB.
And you don't have to take my word for it. AWS is pretty direct about this. For any new application you're building today, they strongly recommend you use either an application load balancer or a network load balancer. The classic is really just for classic apps. Okay, we've met our three contenders. We know their strengths and their weaknesses. Now let's put it all together for the final showdown, so you can walk away knowing exactly what to choose.
This chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? You've got the ALB at Layer 7, the brains of the operation, perfect for web apps and microservices. Then you've got the NLB at Layer 4, the muscle, built for speed and real-time stuff.
And then there's the CLB, hanging out in the corner for those older legacy systems.
Let's make it even simpler. 3 golden rules. Rule number 1. If you need smart, content-aware routing for your web traffic, you're going to use an ALB. Easy. Rule number 2. If you need insane low-latency speed for TCP or UDP traffic, you're using an NLB, no question. And rule number 3, if you find yourself working on an old system that has a COB, that's fine, but you should probably start making a plan to migrate off of it.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. You spend all this time and effort building these incredible, modern, scalable applications, so I'll just ask you this. Is the front door to that application, your load balancer, just as modern? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.